My husband ate my food. Plus all updates. So I just had surgery on my stomach and intestines almost 2 weeks ago. Because of the surgery, I have to adhere to a very strict diet until I'm fully healed. If I stray from the diet, it could cause severe complications and possibly lead to death. So for the first 2 weeks after surgery, I can only eat, drink, a full liquid diet. The most solid thing I can eat is pudding. I can't even have soup with any chunks of veg/meat in it, even if they're soft. There's not a lot of variety to choose from and I'm not having a good time at all. Plus I'm still having pain from the procedure and some nausea and I've had to go in for 4 fluids and iron twice now. Prior to surgery, I meal prepped for myself and for the family so I wouldn't have to worry about it after. I made meals for myself for every stage of the diet and with specific macros, ingredients to meet my needs and comply with my other health problems. For example, I have celiac disease so everything has to be gluten-free. I also follow a low-sugar, low-carb diet so everything had to comply with that as well. I also made meals for him and our son, meals specifically requested by him. I stocked up on snacks they liked and asked for. We also have a fairly strict budget right now, so I made everything from scratch to save some money. About 1/4 of everything I made is in the freezer attached to our fridge for convenience sake, the rest is in the deep freeze in the garage. So most of the meals in the house freezer are gone, so I went out to the garage to restock. All of the meals I'd made for myself are gone. Just completely emptied out. I'm really upset because I have no energy right now to make more. Living off of liquids and having anemia will do that to a person. My diet is, hopefully, progressing to soft solids tomorrow, so I was really excited to be able to eat some of the food I'd made. I asked him about it and he blamed it on our son first. Which I know is BS because the kid hates all of my special food with a passion, lol. There's no way he'd be sneaking my food. So I questioned my husband again. He admitted to it, said he'd been taking my meals to work as his lunch because he was too tired to make his own lunch before work. He has always made his own lunch up until now. He also said he was bored with the lunches he makes and my food provided variety. I am exhausted. This recovery period is kicking my ass. Before surgery, I ran a mile every day. Now, I barely have enough energy to walk up the stairs. I'm not supposed to lift more than 10 pounds. I'm not supposed to do anything more strenuous than walking. Even taking a shower is tiring right now. The anemia, dehydration, and lack of proper nutrition is making it worse. So when he admitted to taking my food, I just started crying. He hasn't been much help after surgery. My son, 11-year-old, has been doing all the lifting for me and helping me with chores and cooking. When I started crying, he got disgusted and told me I was overreacting and being a baby. He refuses to make me new meals. He refuses to help me make new meals. He says it's been almost 2 weeks and I should be able to do stuff on my own. At this point, I'm seriously considering divorce. I mean, my son and I are already doing everything on our own already. And I know my kid won't eat my diet food. Am I overreacting? Also, I just found out he's raided my non-perishable food stores in the pantry. It was mostly sugar-free jello and pudding, stuff I can eat on the liquid diet. Pretty much everything is gone, except for some sugar-free orange jello, TDLR. I am on a special diet due health issues and recent surgery. I meal prepped meals for myself and for the family so I wouldn't have to deal with it while recovering from surgery. My husband ate all of my diet food without telling me and says I'm overreacting for being upset. Am I overreacting? Update 8 days later. This will be long, I apologize in advance. Okay, obligatory OMG, this post exploded comment. I didn't expect it to explode this much. I even saw an article written about it on People magazine's website. So thanks for that, everyone. I'm just glad this is a throwaway account and none of my friends, family are Redditor. I tried to read all of the comments but there are so many and frankly, I'm tired so I'm sure I missed a bunch. I apologize for that. Anyway, so it's been approximately a week since my post and I'll try to answer some questions and let everyone know what's going on. The food I had in the deep freeze in the garage was for the next stage of my diet, which is soft foods with a high protein content. Think egg salad, tender cooked chicken, vegetarian, chicken chili, soft seafood, etc. Definitely more tasty than the liquid diet I was on. So maybe that's why my husband ate them, ick. I'm still not clear on why he did what he did. I have no idea if he ate them or threw them out as many of you suggested. I did ask him and he danced around it and didn't provide any answers. I think maybe he did a combination of the two. I think he has some built-in resentment as I've had health issues since before we married. He knew what he was getting into and he married me anyway. I don't think he realized the toll it could have on him and our relationship though. He's not a caretaker, just to clear things up. I'm not sick enough, except while recovering from surgery, to need someone to take care of me. I am very independent and I do everything myself. I do most of the child care, cleaning, errands, cooking, managing money and expenses, you get the idea. He does get upset because I'm not always able to do activities with him that he really enjoys, like hiking, fishing, frisbee golf, etc. Mostly things that involve being outside. I'm very sensitive to temperature and heat makes me physically sick. I'm also supposed to avoid the sun as it gives me a rash and makes me nauseated. We do a lot of indoor activities like playing games, movies, museums, going to the gym, swimming indoors, etc. I also make an effort to spend time with him individually and as a family. Up until this surgery we have had no issues and I had no idea he would act this way. Maybe I missed some red flags, yik. My husband has never been abusive nor has he ever done anything like this before. That's why I made the post. I was really confused because I had no idea where his attitude was coming from and thought maybe I did something. Like I stated above, I think he has some built-up resentment or something. He's always been understanding and respectful of my needs and my health and has never shown that he may have any differing feelings. Our sex life is great, he stated he's very satisfied in that aspect. He says he sees that I'm putting forth a lot of effort to spend time with him and make him a priority in my life and he says he appreciates it. So unless he's feeding me a line of BS, this isn't the cause either. The surgery I had was removal of benign tumors I had in my stomach and part of my intestine. They had to remove 3/4 of my stomach and part of my small intestine. They got all of the tumors and are optimistic they won't return. I'll have to be very aware of my nutrition for the rest of my life as I will have malabsorption issues. The surgery was done laparoscopic so it's not as painful and doesn't require as much recovery as an open procedure. So, onto the update. After we fought and he refused to rectify the situation, I told him we needed time apart. He went to stay at his mom's house as I don't have any friends or family nearby. For food, I made some scrambled eggs and hard-boiled some eggs to get me through dinner that night and breakfast in the morning. The next day, we talked on the phone for a couple of hours. He apologized profusely. He explained he was extremely stressed at his job and he was really worried about me and my health. I told him that is not an excuse for treating me like crap, nor does it seem like he was worried about me at all since he did what he did. He agreed with me and apologized again. He agreed to go to individual and couples therapy, which is huge because he doesn't like or believe in therapy as he's had bad experiences in the past. I also see my own therapist and have been for the last 15 years, to be clear. He also agreed to buy all of the groceries to replace all of the food he took and he agreed to make my meals for me with a little guidance as he's not great at cooking. I made it clear that if he doesn't something like this again, there will be no more chances given and I will file for divorce. He also apologized to our son for putting more responsibilities on his shoulders. My husband is now back to staying in our home. He has been doing all the things I am not supposed to do and he's working on remaking all of my meals. I've been teaching him how to cook easy meals for him and our kids so he can do so in the future. He's been nothing but polite, sweet, loving, and respectful. He's also been putting forth an effort to take on more responsibilities in the house so I'm not forced to have to do everything. I am, however, worried that this is all just a temporary fix because he wants to avoid divorce. I'm keeping an eye out for red flags. I'm not willing to put up with poor treatment. I'm just waiting for him to get comfortable and revert back to old habits. So we will see what happens, only time will tell. To be clear, he's never treated me badly in the past, which is the main reason I decided to give him a second chance. I'm really hoping it's an aberration. As for his stress at work, his place of employment is severely understaffed at the moment. He's been going to work early and staying late to help them with this issue. He's tired and cranky, which is understandable. Adding my recent surgery on top of things and he just couldn't handle it. He knew my surgery would be complicated and he says he's afraid I'd die or end up with complications. This is understandable as well, I'd feel the same if roles were reversed. But he does agree that none of this gives him an excuse for his behavior and he's agreed to work on it. He says he is very satisfied and happy with all other aspects of our life together and he says he's really disappointed with himself for the way he acted. Again, we'll see how it works out. I'm taking everything he's saying with a grain of salt. That's it. I can't think of anything else to add. I'll post another update if anything changes. Thank you to everyone who was kind and expressed concern for my health and my situation. What do you guys think? Let's discuss in the comments. Follow and like for more stories.